When we want to apologize to someone, we want to use the right words. This is why apologizing in another language is even more difficult. So today, let's see how to apologize properly in French. Today, I'm not going to give you any precise learning goals depending on your level, because learning to apologize properly in French is not something difficult and something that you will need according to your needs, whether you live in France, visit often, or just live abroad and have French friends. So enjoy the lesson. It's pretty easy and straightforward. Let's dive in. Just like for all our lessons, you can download the full PDF of the written lesson on communefrancaise.com. There you have the vocabulary, the expressions, and all the links to the resources mentioned on the video. So go there, it's free, you can download right away and write on the lesson, highlight, read it later. It's up to you. Bonjour, c'est Géraldine, bienvenue sur Commune Française. Allez, c'est parti. First, how to say sorry in French. The easiest one is pardon. Pardon works everywhere. You can use it in the same way as sorry for everyday interactions. For example, pardon, je descends ici. Pardon, je descends ici when you have to leave the bus, for example. About pardon, there's a full song by Jacques Brel, the famous Belgian singer, about pardon that you can check. I will put the link below the video on the blog post. The second most famous way to say sorry after pardon is excuse-moi or excusez-moi. Excuse-moi if you're saying tu, or excusez-moi if you're saying vous to this person. For example, if you're in the train or in the plane, excusez-moi, je crois que c'est ma place. Excusez-moi, je crois que c'est ma place. Excusez-moi, je crois que c'est ma place. Excuse me, I think this is my seat. Or you can be more specific about what you're asking forgiveness for. So, excusez mon retard, j'étais coincé dans les bouchons. Excusez mon retard, j'étais coincé dans les bouchons. Sorry, I'm late, I was stuck in traffic. And please, don't say je m'excuse. I hate it. Lots of people do hate this expression. Je m'excuse means I apologize for myself. Well, if I ask for forgiveness, I ask for your forgiveness. I don't forgive myself because I'm late. So don't use je m'excuse ever. Use excusez-moi or excuse-moi. Please. A very useful way for you to use excusez-moi if someone is speaking too fast. For example, you can say excusez-moi, vous pourriez parler moins vite s'il vous plaît. Excusez-moi, vous pourriez parler moins vite s'il vous plaît. This is something very useful if you want to learn more ways to stop the conversation from switching back to English. I did a full lesson on that, and you will find lots of phrases you can use right away. Another very simple way to say sorry is désolé. Désolé, it's pronounced the same way in masculine and feminine. Désolé works everywhere. You can say je suis désolé as well. I am sorry. Je suis désolé. For example, as in je suis désolé, j'ai raté votre appel, j'étais sous la douche. Je suis désolé, j'ai raté votre appel, j'étais sous la douche. Sorry, I missed your call, I was in the shower. Let's look at two other ways to say sorry. The first one is familiar. It's oops. Oops, it's pretty easy to understand in English. And if we want to be more formal, you can say demander pardon. So that is more asking for forgiveness. For example, je vous demande pardon d'avoir rayé votre voiture. Je vous demande pardon d'avoir rayé votre voiture. You can skip the beginning as well and just say pardon d'avoir rayé votre voiture. If you want to know more about other ways to say sorry, for example, sorry I have to go, I did a full lesson on that, on how to say sorry I have to leave when you leave a party, a conversation, etc. What to apologize for? We usually apologize for a mistake, and what I found while doing research for this episode is that we have tons of words to say mistake in French, so I'm going to give you a few. You don't have to remember all of them, but some of them are pretty funny. The first one, the most classic one, is une erreur. Une erreur with two R's. Une erreur is the simple way to say a mistake. Une erreur. If you want to be more familiar, you can say une boulette. Une boulette. A ball is une boule. Une boulette is a little ball and it's a mistake. Une boulette. That's familiar French. A more older French is une bourde. une bourde. That's funny because it's a bit old-fashioned, but it means a mistake. If it's an accident, it's the same word in French, it's un accident. Un accident. If it's another way to say mistake is une faute. And this is usually the word that you use when you make mistakes in French for mistakes of grammar, conjugation, gender of noun, etc. Une faute. If it's a blunder, we say une bêtise, which is something that children do all the time. They do des bêtises or une bêtise. Again, if it's a mistake that's pretty fun, it's une gaffe. You probably maybe know the French comic book Gaston Lagaffe. He made lots of gaffes, lots of mistakes. Gaston Lagaffe. Another one that comes from an animal, which is un âne, is une ânerie. Une ânerie. Again, it's something a bit stupid, it's a mistake. Un quiproquo is not the same meaning as in English. Un quiproquo is a misunderstanding. Un quiproquo. Une étourderie. Une étourderie means you were kind of lost and you didn't understand what was happening and you forgot, okay? It has this meaning of you were not really there and you were just like not thinking properly. Une étourderie. Un impair is a formal way to say that it was a mistake. Un impair. It means like you took something for another, but roughly it's a mistake. Un impair. Une maladresse is clumsiness. It's exactly the same. You were not like handling it very well. Une maladresse, we have the adjective maladroit as well to say clumsy. Maladroit and maladroite for a woman. And if you just forgot, it's un oubli. Un oubli, but it can count as a mistake as well. Un oubli, from the verb oublier, to forget in French. If you want to apologize for something that is bad, that is really big, and that you didn't do, such as death, sickness, very, very bad news, it's completely different, obviously. Don't use these words. I'm not going to do a full lesson on that because that's really sad. But there's Interflora who made a fantastic guide with ready-to-use phrases if it's a loss, for example. So I'm not an expert on that, so pick those phrases if you need to. I'm really sorry that you have to. I also made a full lesson previously on French words and phrases to express sympathy and sadness. So Interflora is much better if you have to write it down, but just to know what you could and should say, the episode is really good. Now let's look at how to forgive someone. So someone made a mistake, you are on the receiving end of it, but you want to forgive them because it was not a big deal, or you are very forgiving today. What would French people say? We would say, t'en fais pas. It comes from ne t'en fais pas, and we drop the ne. Ne t'en fais pas, don't worry about that. Or if it's vous, you can say ne vous en faites pas. Ne vous en faites pas. Again, in everyday spoken French, we might drop the ne and make it vous en faites pas. You can also say it's nothing, so ça fait rien, ça ne fait rien. We should say ça ne fait rien, but you can drop the ne. It happens to everybody. Ça arrive à tout le monde. Ça arrive à tout le monde. If you want to be a bit more formal and say I forgive you, like properly, you can say je te pardonne or je vous pardonne. But honestly, that's a bit formal. Just keep it for really big things. If you want to say it's forgiven, it's the same in French. We say c'est pardonné. C'est pardonné. Don't worry about that. That's finished. C'est pardonné. You didn't do it on purpose. Tu n'as pas fait exprès. Tu n'as pas fait exprès. Again, we've seen that before. You drop the ne and you say t'as pas fait exprès. T'as pas fait exprès. You didn't do it on purpose. If you don't want to hold any grudge, you can say sans rancune. Sans rancune. It means that you're not going to think about it afterwards. Sans rancune. Or something I really like is allez, c'est pas si grave. Allez, c'est pas si grave. Come on, it's not that big, it's not that serious. Again, as you can see here, for lots of options, I put things between brackets so you can just adapt to what you want to say. You can remove the things in order to make them more spoken French, or here add aller to make it a bit more spoken French. Also, one last way is c'est pas ta faute, it's not your fault. C'est pas ta faute, or ce n'est pas votre faute. If you want to be fully formal with someone you use vous with, it means it's not your fault, it just happens. Et toi, how would you apologize for something you did recently? Tell me in the comments below. Obviously, you can invent it. Tell me in French if you dare. Here is an example. Excuse-moi d'avoir cassé ta tasse, je t'en achèterai une autre demain. Excuse-moi d'avoir cassé ta tasse, je t'en achèterai une autre demain. Sorry for having broken your cup, I will buy you another one tomorrow. So, if you liked this lesson, you learned something today, please share this lesson with a Francophile friend by sharing on Facebook, on YouTube, by email, any way you like. It's a fantastic way to support Comme une Française's free lessons, so thank you. If you want more spoken French, subscribe to get my 10-day everyday French crash course on my blog commeunefrancaise.com. There you can subscribe for free. It's a 10-day mini course all by email, and if you subscribe now, you will get lesson 1 immediately. It's lots of fun and students love it. I wish you une bonne journée and I hope to see you next time. Allez, salut!